Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I took a short little walk to the local Target. I would have loved to have done my full thing, but the Lakers play at 4 o'clock, so I wanted to make sure I'm at home for that. And given the fact that I had to prepare for the game this morning with the video, it was already 1 o'clock by the time I finished breakfast. So it was just not going to be a whole lot of room to move around. And you know, that's the only thing. Like, I love my Lakers, but when they have these road trips, these games be coming early, man. Sometimes on random Monday, Tuesday. It's not a perfect thing because a lot of people work, man. So like a lot of people aren't even off work and barely getting out of school, got homework. These games come on too early for what people's schedule actually is. And in the East Coast, it's not a perfect science either, because when the games start at like 7:30, they run to like midnight. People got to work in the morning, so they can't watch a lot of their West Coast favorites or when their team play West Coast games. So I don't think the schedule for the NBA is ever going to be perfect. I guess it's about as good as it's going to get. But when they play these Eastern Conference games, they try to fit it for Eastern Conference people. And as a result, we end up having these games kind of come on a little earlier than maybe people can actually watch them, especially in LA with traffic. You can get off work at 5, depending on how far you live away or whether or not you have a vehicle. It may take you an hour or 2 hours to get home. You know what I mean? So it's tough. You're fixing dinner, you gotta get prepared for your night. You're gonna miss the whole game. So that's a real thing for people, unfortunately, if they watch these games like I do. The schedule kind of sucks. So yeah, man, didn't get a chance to do what I love to do. It's a sacrifice we make to cover the team we love. But yeah, I'm having a pretty good day. Otherwise, I had some weird dreams last night. Nothing I really want to go over. Nothing too serious. Just bad vibes, man. Getting into it with people in my dreams. It's strange, but that type of energy is not something I welcome into my life. And although I slept well, it was a lot of bad vibes in the dreams last night. So just thankful I had somewhere to lay my head, and thankful that those dreams aren't a reality. And that's literally all I want to say about that. But yeah, man, it's a little bit of a heat wave. We're looking at like 91 degrees today. It's going to go back down tomorrow. Yesterday it was really hot, probably about 95 or something like that. So it's just a quick heat wave and then back to normal. But that's the power of the valley heat, man. It's going to be something that you deal with at random. And then sometimes it gets really cold too, and it's the other way around. It's like you'll have nights like 35, 40 degrees at night, so it's just part of living in the valley, man. But yeah, I feel pretty good. This is like the aftermath of a stressful week, to where things have now smoothed out that were very, very stressful for the short term last week. That's kind of what it is. So you feel a little tired, and I'm very happy for my sister because she passed one of 2 tests. She's trying to get certified for a certain type of insurance job that's been offered to her, and she's been trying very hard to try to get these tests passed, but it's been a challenge. She got some other stuff going on with her living situation. It's really tough on her right now. She's going through an extremely tough time, probably the toughest time she's had in her adult life. And so I'm just thankful that the Lord put us back in one another's lives, kind of, especially given what it is I've been through. I can kind of be of support to her in a different respect than I maybe would have been able to in the past, given that I've kind of faced some things on my own, kind of brought out the strength in me. So I respect the difficulties a bit differently when you've lived through certain things. And so this is just a great time for us to kind of support one another, particularly through some difficult stuff. And she accomplished a great goal, though. She did get one of 2 tests done. So we were super excited for her, and now she's got a day to kind of relax after a strenuous, stressful week she had last week as well. So I was speaking to her a little bit on via voice messages, and just enjoying her relief and enjoying my own, because last week was very stressful with the phone situation, and thinking the EBT wasn't going to be in place. So I was anticipating having to really struggle financially in a different kind of way. and all those things got straightened out. Of course, the government came to some type of compromise, not one that most people are very pleased with, but the government is open back up and benefits should be distributed today. And they put people through a lot, man. Workers, government workers weren't getting their checks. You know, Donald Trump scolded some of the airport workers for not continuing to work, though not being paid. He said they knew that he would pay them as soon as this thing opened up. But how long was that supposed to go? You know, that's the thing I have to ask him. It's like, when I read what he said, I was like, okay, you're saying, why didn't they believe in me? You fired them for 40 days and didn't pay them because you were trying to get something done on your side versus theirs. I don't know what type of delusion he engages in when saying that he's disappointed in people for not returning to a job that he essentially fired them from. You told them people to work for free, literally slavery. Meanwhile, people still have bills to pay. Not everybody that quit the job didn't believe in you. Some of those people just couldn't afford to not know when their next check was going to come while wasting man hours working for nothing. So I was really disappointed in him for that statement, but I wasn't surprised. It was just, you know, it just speaks to the character of him and the people behind him who ultimately are toying with the American public. And that's really what I saw there. When you consider both parties agreed to shut the government down through the elections. And then when the elections were solidified, suddenly they come to some solution that they apparently couldn't come to 20 days ago. I know that there was a social experiment being run on us. I know these people are trying to test our will and trying to get us to be provoked to anger and provoked to civil unrest so they can further utilize their will against that behavior. And I'm really disappointed in all of us for allowing these people to have this much control over us. We need to vote each and every one of these people out. Anybody that's capable of being voted out needs to be voted out. All these government officials from top to bottom, no matter what direction, we need to clean house as Americans. It's our fault if they continue to run amok. Seeing Benjamin Netanyahu's cousin up here dancing the YMCA after receiving a $40 billion check while people are not getting their funds. He's standing on a podium in Mar-a-Lago celebrating himself and his cronies. I just think that is just a small portion of what it is that ultimately is happening right now. It's people who are toying with us. They're playing in our faces. They're engaging in psychological warfare, and they're pretending to be at odds with one another when they actually agree to screw all of us. And it's the divide and conquer method, and we keep buying into it. Oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. Stop this. Each and every American needs to wake up right now and understand neither one of these sides actually are at odds with one another. They've both agreed to pretend to be at odds with one another so they can continue to divide and conquer you amongst one another. This is what they're showing us. They're toying in our faces. They have handlers behind them who belong to the blue state with the star on it. And those people want to continue to press the issue and push our limits to see how far we'll go. See what we will allow them to get away with. See how far we will go into different things that they are trying to test. Because at the end of the day, as I've said many times, those people thrive off of divide and conquer, off of racism, off of different type of apartheid behaviors in their own state. And they are controlling ours, both parties. So a lot of the behavior that you're seeing, a lot of this evil stuff that's taking place, is because those people are standing behind our government. They're the ones paying these people. They're the ones telling the stories of what it is they're going to do next, dictating what their moves are. This is what I understand. So a lot of this unprecedented stuff that we're seeing with them trying to, doing little devious stuff to poke at the American public, it's because Israel's behind them, and Israel is like that. They are very much like that. They are mad at us for not supporting them. They're mad at us for having a heart for the people that they're trying to kill. And as a result, they're poking at us and toying with us for not supporting them on genocidal mission. This is what is actually happening to the American people. Israel has been awakened to the understanding that we don't hold them as high as they demand we do. And as a result, they're unhappy with it, and they want to belittle us and bring us down to help us understand that we are beneath them, just like they believe everybody else is beneath them, and that we will do what they say, or they will continue to toy with us, mess with our heads, mess with our money, starve us for as long as they want to, just like they're doing to the Palestinian people. This is what is actually happening. That's what this really boils down to. Your government is compromised by a sadistic, evil, narcissistic, psychopathic nation of individuals that believe themselves to be better than you, and they are not happy with your behavior, America. That's what's actually happening. They're not happy with you. They don't like that you voted for Mamdani. They don't like that you are boycotting them on regards to their genocide. They don't like that you don't hate the Palestinians as much as they do. They don't like the fact that you run around acting like you love one another, or believing you love one another, and not separating one another by way of race like you did back in the 50s. That's what they considered making America great. Divided and conquer, and everybody running around with a heart full of hate. This is what I know. And all the other stuff that's going on, all the behaviors of our government, it's just a byproduct of that mentality in full effect. It's a fact. And if you do your own homework, this is exactly what you're going to find. It's good and evil. It's God versus the devil in human form. And the devil is unhappy because he's waking up to understand that people do not support his nonsense. And they're not confused by the different tactics that he uses to control what it is they see. It's exactly what's going on there. And so for me, when I look at my government, I see Israel standing behind a bunch of puppets with their hands up their backside, forcing them to do stuff that is awful in nature, just to toy with the goodness in all of our hearts. That's exactly what it is. To get back at us for having a heart for the people they want to destroy. That's what I see. And so I just want people to understand my point of view on these political conversations. They're not political conversations, they're spiritual conversations, good and evil. Those who want to see people who don't have nothing get a chance to eat versus those who thrive off of seeing those people suffer. Those who want to discipline themselves against things that make them worse versus those who want to sell those things to them to make themselves more wealthy. That's what's going on there. It's good and evil, man. So, Donald Trump is not representing himself when he opens his mouth, just like most of that Supreme Court is not representing themselves when they vote a certain way. It's like most of that Congress, if not all of it, isn't representing themselves when they pass certain things or hold certain things up. They are doing the bidding of someone behind them who has them full on with a bunch of leverage of many kinds, including cash, bribing, blackmail, and just overall taking advantage of spiritual ignorance. And if we don't wake up to it and become more educated on it as a people, we're going to continue to have these people behind our government doing little evil stuff to try to make us feel bad, make us live through difficulties, and ultimately make us fight with one another on their behalf while they pretend like nothing's happening. I know this, and I'm watching it, and I think all of you need to be paying attention to it clearly, especially my Jewish brothers and sisters, because they are standing behind you doing all of this. They're saying they do it on your behalf. So if you're not loud, saying, separating yourself from this behavior, then when people come to realize what's going on, they're going to blame you. They're not just going to blame you out of ignorance. They're going to blame you because you were complicit to allowing those people to stand beside you as they did all the evil that they did. And that's what I want my Jewish brothers and sisters to understand. People aren't just mad because they're stupid and can't tell the difference. It's that you let these people get in so intricately in your situation, build up all this power in all these nefarious ways, and didn't have the the ability in whatever way, or the desire in whatever way, to separate yourself before it got this bad. Because they could not have done this without your hat. They could not have done this without your faith. They could not have done this without you being complicit to them standing beside you and garnering all this wealth off of the leverage, spiritual leverage, that your faith has over the world as chosen people. They couldn't have done any of this without pretending to be you. Bdf 44, I thank you all for watching. Bye.